Satan is very, very crafty, brother. And I can tell you, no matter where I go, no matter who I talk to, whether it's clergy, whether it's members, whether it's leaders, they have accepted these terminologies that I'm going to show you in the church. And I'm going to show you why we should not be using these terminologies in our discussions in the church. Terminologies such as culture. How many know that a lot of things are being justified under the guise of culture? Raise your hand. It's not right or wrong. This is just my culture. Now, you will not appreciate it as much here in California as I would in New York. The melting pot of the United States. You know that. And there are many things that proceed under the guise of culture. The reason we do this and that, please just give me a few minutes here. The reason we do this or that is because it's our culture. Now, I'm here now, and now my wife is from Jamaica. Okay? So this allows me some other perspective. But then in New York, you've got every kind of culture. You have African, you have various islands, you have England, and that's just the ones that come around in our sphere. But then you have Italians, you have Germans, we can go on, Russian. You have large sections of New York and all different backgrounds. And one thing that's different between the United States and other nations is that they get a constant drubbing of the one culture because they are one people generally from where they are, unless maybe they're from England. But if they're over in the islands, what have you, or they're in a particular African country, everyone there may be Ghanaian, everyone there is Liberian, everyone there is Nigerian, everyone there is Jamaican, everyone there is Trinidadian, etc., etc. So there's a nationalistic pride that perhaps we don't have the same in the United States because we are such a melting pot. It's hard for you to say, this is us, because everything that comes here is us. You follow? And we're proud of it. We have a rich experience. But the one thing I can tell you, brothers and sisters, is that I have talked to people. Now, a lot of people on the prayer line are from the West Indies that I'm talking every morning. And I'm saying to each and every one, do not ever allow, regardless of where you're from, do not allow yourself to have such nationalistic pride that you give your culture a free pass. Be willing to call the sin in your culture by its right name. Be willing to say, listen, it may be. Let me tell you what I said the other day. Don't stone me, but I'm going to tell you this. I told them on the prayer line about Monday or Tuesday, and I was talking about culture. And I said to them, I'm sitting right here in Oakland, California, right across the bay of San Francisco, one of the wickedest cities in the whole world. But this is where I'm from. This is my home. But I'm not about to tell you. As a matter of fact, it was so wicked that Ellen White said it's one of the places targeted for the judgments of God. Is that true? Is that right? But let me tell you this. I can go around saying, I'm from Oakland. And when I get away from here, some people may not know the city of Oakland. So I'm from San Francisco Bay Area. San Francisco. But let me tell you this. I will fail not to say it is wicked, it is vile, it is full of every ideology. Because I'm not concerned about affirming where I came from. In fact, according to Hebrews chapter 11, I'm admonished to be thinking more about where I'm going than where I came from. Is that right? Those people in the Faith Hall of Fame chapter, Hebrews 11, those in it, Enoch, Noah, Moses, Abraham, Rachel, Rahab, Isaac, Jacob, on and on and on. These all died in faith, not having received the promises, but embraced them, and were persuaded that there were pilgrims and strangers upon the earth. They declared that they seek a better country. That is an heavenly, where God is not ashamed to be called their God. In other words, they're looking for the New Jerusalem, citizenship in the New Jerusalem. They are proud that they're headed towards another place, not so much where they came from. Do not give. So I tell the people, you may enjoy, you may say that within your country, reggae is so pervasive that that's what we do. But be willing to call reggae the worldly music of your country. Be willing to call calypso, if you're from Trinidad, the wicked music of your country. Be willing to call compa, if you're from Haiti, the wicked music of your country. Amen? Amen. Just as I'm willing to call hip-hop the wicked music of the United States. R&B, the wicked music of the United States. Because my goal is to make it to the kingdom, brother. Amen? Amen? Never let nationalistic pride blind your eyes. Now let me hit you with a bombshell. And by the way, I could talk extensively about this because I pastor a Ghanaian congregation as well. Ghana, from Ghana. And a lot of people talk about we've been robbed of our Afrocentric heritage. And we have people of all hue and color this morning. We're glad for that. But this is one of the things you hear us saying. And let me tell you something. I'm glad to see brothers and sisters of all color here. This is the way East Oakland used to be. Some of you don't know what I'm talking about. You say East Oakland. Oh, you mean the East Oakland Territory. No, this was called East Oakland. Before that, it was called 55th Avenue. Isn't that right? I'm telling you. I was here. Well, we would call it 55th Avenue. It was still called East Oakland. But let me tell you something. Matter of fact, there was a time when we had every hue and color at this church. How many remember that? We had German. We had Filipino. Didn't we? Singapore. Chinese. Hispanic. Central American. Sister Stanley. Right? And I mean, I could go on and on. I don't know how many, but as a matter of fact, for Northern California, we were considered the test church. Do you remember that, Sister Denise? We were the test church for Northern California. We were a case study because we had all these people getting along. We weren't worried about culture. As a matter of fact, I can remember when we came down here, we was glad for all that culture in the church. All those different backgrounds. We came down here, we had food from Singapore. It was like an international experience when we came down here. Church service. All vegetarian. Thank you. So you see, brothers and sisters, this idea of culture, it has to give way to Christian culture.
Amen.
It's not Afrocentric, it's not Eurocentric. It's Christocentric. You hear a lot of people talk about Africa. I've been to Africa. I was there last year. Last year, yes, 2007. I can tell you, brothers and sisters, a lot of things that are credited to Africa, attributed to Africa, are not there among Seventh-day Adventists. When we get these drum traps in the church, we start to beat and so on and so forth, I can tell you that Seventh-day Adventists in Africa don't want it. As a matter of fact, the churches in New York and around the United States that are Ghanaian, and then there's a lot of Nigerian churches, they have come together for the sole purpose of preserving their faith as they knew it back at home because they're concerned about what has come into the American church. When they get together, I can tell you, you can look around, you can search high and low, look underneath the platform, go all over, go under the pews, and you're not going to find a drum trap set. You won't see it. You want to know why that is? Because the Africans in Africa, the Seventh-day Adventists, do not use them. I did an interview. I've got some clips right here. I did an interview with a young lady from Botswana, Sister Nellie, and her friend, who she recently met at Bethel Church, Dee Dee. They sat in my house and put some bright lights up, and I began to ask them. I said, listen, tell me, you're from Botswana. How many other countries have you gone to? They said 5 other countries. There were Seventh-day Adventists. Her father, who had passed away, was a Seventh-day Adventist minister. And so it allowed her to go around and travel. I said, listen, in all the countries that you went to, including your own, did you see these drums?